And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Now we see a man who got a workout in last year's Super Bowl, Johnny Hekker, on to punt for the Rams, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check 26. 2.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Flushed out right. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Coleman. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Let's go. Pick it up, D. At 50 ends the mic. Go 50 ends the mic. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo. Coleman has it here right side. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here we go. Hey, gun. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Move the chains. A gain of... Seven on 3rd down.
And the 49ers first down.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
54.
On first down, it's gone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now after the holding call, here's second and 20.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Out of the gun. Gone. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
On first and goal, Gurley. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'd be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Los Angeles. It is the Rams in possession as they come up now second and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. Goff going to hand it to Gurley, and he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here we go, tonight. 180. Watch the run.
Third and goal, Gurley. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. 4th down now after a loss of 2. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, You and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
Zerline, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate. 87% in 2018.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last two drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. From the 30 on second down, Garoppolo. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for third down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. Kittle last year, what a season. 1,377 receiving yards, an NFL record for tight ends en route to his first Pro Bowl. Not bad for the former fifth-round pick. I remember that game, December against Denver. He had that monster first half, 210 yards. Did not have a single catch in the second half, but still those 210 yards were just 4 yards shy of Shannon Sharp's single-game record for a tight end. On second and 9, Garoppolo. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's gone. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. A gain of 22.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On first down, it's Gurley. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Second down, it's Henderson. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, tell you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Goff on third down. And it's caught for a Rams touchdown by Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Gold with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Gone. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
One go. 180.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Fred Warner coming off a strong rookie year in on the stop for the Niners.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, D.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Keep playing all day. Woo! Let's get it.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go. Man left. Everyone's got move.
Goff now looks to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Here we go.
From the 38, Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Garoppolo now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Escaping the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
The Rams take over first and 10 at the 50.
So good field position for the Rams as they come up first and 10.
Wild Bill. Shell.
They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Ready?
Now gone. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And the Rams, first down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. There'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. The 30, past the 20. Touchdown, LA. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo. Throw right side, taken in by Pettis. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This is Coleman. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. 20, 10. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well,
else, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brings up second and 11 at the 43-yard line.
Here we go. Black 80! Come on. Double tight, double tight.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Second and 9 now from the 21.
Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. You go take.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Cut! 180! 54! Line 54! Not today, you are. Not today.
From the gun on third down. Gone. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now it's Bird on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Move. Hey, we got 4. Got 4 down. Check, boys. Hey, alert.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Forced out to, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's get in now. Check. Fresno.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go tonight. 180. Night, sweetheart.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
21. Here we go.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 1-yard line.
Here we go. 180.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Corey Littleton, Pro Bowler for the first time a season ago, in to make the tackle. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone, so they could use something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, they might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8
How's
ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Mike 20. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. He's time.
Now Gurley.
Go.
And Gurley, he fumbled it. Gurley he fumbles the football. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Now it's Gurley. In on the stop, it was Tarvarius Moore.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Bring it. 20. 54 Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Bang, 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 bang.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Like 20. 7. Oh, you got deep. Double time. 4 now. Here we go, fellas.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Josh Reynolds, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go. 180. Mike, 58, right there. Watch the run.
They will run again with Coleman. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here we go. 180. Cut.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is fielded at the 27. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another carry now for Gurley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Rams on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, here's Henderson. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
And maybe some indecision on what to do, and they're going to get a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Here's Johnny Hecker now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So the L.A. Rams with a victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Rams, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Niners, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the